Hey everyone, welcome into another edition of No Holds Barred here at the Toronto Sun. Rob Wong and Postmedia wrestling writer Jan Murphy with you as always. Next month, the WWE returns to Canada with a pair of shows. SmackDown on August the 8th at the Bell Centre in Montreal, and a few nights later, it is Videotron Centre in Quebec City as they will host Monday Night Raw on August the 11th. Today's guest will be on that SmackDown show back in her native land. It is Canada's own Chelsea Green. Chelsea, great to chat with you again.
Thanks for having me. It's always good to chat with fellow Canadians.
Yeah, absolutely. So much to talk with you about. Of course, we had WWE Evolution recently. Nikki Bella's back. Trish Stratus was wrestling again. So I want to get your thoughts on a lot of that. But I want to start with the Canadian wrestling fans. We always talk to you, of course, about what it's like being in Canada and wrestling in front of the fans. But I'm curious, as someone that has wrestled all over the world, we're a little bit biased here with three Canadians on this video. But what stands out to you about the fans north of the border that may be different from other fans in different countries, not in a bad way, but maybe just sort of what separates us from, compared to US fans or, fans in the UK?
So there's a couple of different things. For one, I do think that we are now leaning towards being kind of more like the European fans, like in terms of our chants, our cheers, our songs, which I think is really cool because we love going over to Europe and having them kind of do the football chants. And now that Canada is doing that, it like brings just a little je ne sais quoi to our shows, which I love. But then also, of course, for me, I always want to go home. I always want to perform in front of the people that supported me for the past 10 years, which is the Canadian independent circuit and that fandom. Um, and I think that we don't get enough events in Canada. We don't have the choices of concerts and of shows like they do in America. So we feel a sense of when WWE comes and performs, we have to give it our all as a collective fan base to so that we can get WWE back. That's how I always felt. And now being on the other side of things in the ring, I feel that when I get into the ring, I feel like 110% of the energy that the Canadian fans bring. It's amazing. It really is like there's no other fandom like the European and Canadian fandom.
Chelsea, I'm going to go a little somber here. Ozzy Osbourne died yesterday. Ozzy had a big influence in the professional wrestling world. Of course, long ties to WWE, but I haven't seen an outpouring of love on social media the way I saw it yesterday just take over the internet. Talk a little bit about Ozzy's influence in professional wrestling and WWE and just his influence, worldwide.
Well, I think that I couldn't say anything more than you saw online. Like everyone was really pouring their heart and soul into kind of like the meetings that they had with him, the times that he came to shows and the interactions he had with wrestlers. I mean, he clearly touched a lot of people. I never met him. I never got to work with him, but at the end of the day, like rock and roll and pro wrestling have always gone hand in hand, and I kind of think that's a beautiful thing. And it was really sad to see, sad but also amazing to see all of the love and support that he had on social media yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, music and wrestling are just, they're
Yeah.
just connected. They're just locked in, right?
Yeah, they totally are, right? And just like that same energy that a singer feels, that energy, that adrenaline that they feel when they're up on stage singing is the same feeling that we feel getting into the ring. And I think that's why the crossover is kind of amazing. Like we have a lot of singer-songwriters come to WWE and really, I mean, they become obsessed with what we do and they want to get in the ring and they want to try to wrestle. And I think that's really cool.
And Ozzy himself was a lot like a WWE character. He was an absolute character.
Yes.
So a lot of
His
a
whole
lot of
family
similarities there.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Great thoughts there for Ozzy Osbourne, and definitely a big loss for the music industry. You talked about, of course, the music crossover. I just kind of made me think of Jelly Roll and his upcoming match, of course, at SummerSlam. So we're going to see that. Bad Bunny previously. The list goes on and on and on. Now we were coming off an incredible PLE a few weeks ago. Of course, WWE Evolution, the first time in 7 years. You were a big part of that. I mean, it was so positively received. It was such a great event. I'm curious, how you felt going into it and then how you felt coming out of it.
Well, of course, going into it, it's nerve wracking. It's been 7 years since we had our last evolution. I mean, of course, I feel like we've made leaps and bounds in terms of the women's division. We now have main evented WrestleMania. The people come and they stay in their seats for the women's matches. They buy our merch. They support women's wrestling. But it's still nerve wracking. The pressure was still on. And of course, we were in Atlanta, and there were numerous different things going on in Atlanta that weekend, which made it very hard for us to sell tickets. And then when I walked out there for the Battle Royal, I was like, why did I ever question the WWE universe? Like, they filled that arena in Atlanta. They gave their all. The people sitting at home watching, it was just like, it was such a positive reaction to the second evolution, and I'm really proud of all the women who are on the card. I just can't even imagine how hard it was for the producers to choose those matches and even to choose who is going to be in the battle royal, because we've got stacked rosters now between the legends, NXT, Raw, and SmackDown. How do you even choose 20 women to be in the battle royal? How do you even choose what matches to put on that show when there's just so much talent?
You talked about, well, Rob mentioned Trish Stratus earlier. As a young man growing up in Kingston, Ontario, when Trish broke into the business and really took it over and kind of reinvented the women's division, and that's been followed by Natty and yourself. What has it been like to be around Trish, and what are your memories of Trish as a young wrestling fan, and where her place falls in the hierarchy of what she's done for the women's division?
Well, I mean, I started watching when Trish was here, and to me, she never left. Like, I know she stepped away, but we always go back to Trish Stratus. Like, that is the epitome of women's wrestling. Like, that is the woman that influenced all of us. And if you say otherwise, you're lying. So it's been really amazing to have her in the locker room, to work alongside her. I mean, I was able to cut a promo. I believe it was in Toronto. I cut a promo with her, and just to like be standing across from the Trish Stratus bantering in 2025. How crazy is that? We're so lucky that we get to have her back. And then the fact that she didn't even age is like crazy to me. Like, she just is like, I don't even know how to put a label on Trish. She's like an angel.
Yeah, she's incredible, and it's great to see her back. And also, Nikki Bella is back, and you two have had some run-ins of late, in and outside of the ring. What has that been like, just to have her back, and not even just sort of periodically? I mean, she's here for a while now, and she really wants to be a part of this.
One thing about Nikki is that she is the most down to earth woman that you'll ever meet. Like, I don't think Nikki Bella's ever met a stranger. You know what I mean? Like, she's so kind. She's so personable and friendly. She changes in the locker room with the girls, which she doesn't have to do. Do you know what I mean? Like, she's been doing this long enough. She deserves her own tour bus and her own locker room, but she comes and she chills with the girls, and she's just one of us. And that makes a huge difference when you then step into the ring with somebody, because now you have a relationship with them. You have chemistry already. You trust each other. And at the end of the day, like, this was my dream, to beat the out of Nikki Bella. And now look at me. Like, from watching her on Total Divas to being in the ring with her and, like, hitting her with certain moves. Like, I didn't think that would ever be even a possibility. And now to be able to do that every single week, sometimes twice a week, is amazing. I just want to continue beating her up until she retires.
Last one from me. When you come to, I don't know if wrestlers are creatures of habit. When I travel, I am a creature of habit. If I go to somewhere where I've been before, I have a go-to place. I'm going to make sure I get there. When I go to Niagara Falls, there was a T-shirt shop that I always went to.
Yeah.
When you come to Montreal next week, or Quebec City, where's the go-to for you?
So Quebec City, I always just put my walking shoes on and I just walk down towards like the Fairmont, and I usually pop in and stop for coffees and pastries and things like that, and I just like I don't I don't know that there's anything better than kind of that like old area, that old feel of
Oh yeah.
Quebec City. I love it. Montreal's a little different because Montreal, I'm usually not there as long. And I don't know why that is. I've been to Montreal quite a few times, but I'm usually popping in and out really quick. So let me tell you something. I've got to know the Montreal airport very well, and I know my go-to spots at the Montreal airport.
That's awesome.
Yeah, should be a fun time for sure. Last one for me, Chelsea. We saw a while back. You got a chance to interview Ana De Armas, the famous actress, ahead of the Ballerina premiere, the John Wick spinoff. Could we see you, do more red carpets in the future? How did that all come about?
First of all, that was always my dream. I always wanted to be on camera, but as a host, whether it was a host on the red carpet, a host for like E or extra, that was always my dream. So then to be able to do that, I don't know how the opportunity came about, but when they trusted me with something that, is so big, I was just like, I was honored. I was nervous. Oh my gosh, my whole chest and my face got flushed when she walked in. I was like shaking. It's, it's interesting because for so long now, I've been on this side of the interviews. I've been interviewed, not the interviewer. So I really had to watch interviews and study the other side and study the art of asking a question and truly listening, because I think that that's something that I've picked up along the way is sometimes I'm asked questions and then I realize that the person asking me, they're not really listening, so I'm just talking to the abyss, and that's weird. And so I just wanted to make sure that I did that job and I did it well. And my gosh, is being an interviewer so difficult. But I had the best time, and I hope that I did WWE proud so that they continue to ask me to do those things again, because I really, really, really had fun. And I like pushing myself outside of my comfort zone. Look, I've been wrestling for 10 years. I get nervous at the adrenaline spikes and all that, but at the end of the day, I know what I'm doing now. I'm comfortable in my role as a wrestler. I know what I bring to the table. I know my limitations. So then to go and hop into interviewing shoes and totally be like a fish out of water is really cool. I haven't felt that in a while.
That's great. You're so
Yes,
fun. You're so fun. Like, and I think she's been the most times on our show, right? Nobody's been on our show more than
of
Chelsea.
course. Yeah, it's been great.
I really love that for me.
Well, look, Chelsea, we always appreciate the time. We're always listening, Jan and I. When you have something to say, we appreciate the time as always. Thanks so much, and we'll see you in Montreal coming up later next month.
Yes, if you haven't got your tickets, August 8th or August 11th, Montreal, Quebec City, Ticketmaster.ca. You don't want to miss your favorite ever United States champion and two-time tag team champion and future Hall of Famer.
That's
There
right.
it is. Great. Thanks so much, Chelsea.
Thank you guys.